plague engulfs our nation, if not our very civilization. And that plague is Memberberries. Are they coming for your children? Find out tonight on a Total Party Skills special report. Today's episode is brought to you by the letter M. M is for Memberberries, by the way. Since it seems to have come up a bit since season 3 of Picard seems to actually be taking off a little bit, fingers crossed. People actually being teensy bit excited to watch more episodes, but the subject of it's throwing Memberberries at us does come up, and we hear this quite often with various properties, and certainly it is a thing where the over-reliance on nostalgia can be leaned on to kind of prop something up that otherwise doesn't have any legs to stand on. However, in regards to something like Picard, where it's about basically a reunion show, where you got a bunch of old cast members coming back for one final romp, I feel that Memberberries are a bit more forgivable. And just in general, if you're trying to make a project, a production set in an established setting and universe that has history, canon. Oh, it's canon, not canyon, you mushmouth piece of props, famous incidents. I mean, all the things that come with being something set in Star Trek or Star Wars or the Marvel Universe and all that kind of stuff. Well, I mean, to a certain degree, shouldn't it feature things from that setting to help establish that it is a part of that setting? You know, where is the line? Do we want stuff that seems like it's set in a familiar universe when we are watching a show or a movie that is set in a pre-established brand or franchise? Do we want it to be completely just new every time like we got with the prequel Star Wars movies? Or do we want something that is virtually identical to the old one, like, say, The Force Awakens? The Force Awakens is probably a good example of something that was relying much more on Memberberries to prop it up than on actually any good storytelling. Whereas with Season 3 of Picard, we're only one episode in, so aside from the assurances we hear from the few people who have gotten to see the entire series so far, we all have to just kind of hope that it actually delivers a story that's worthy of our time. And if it does, though, then are the Memberberries Memberberries? Or were they just appropriate set dressing? Who knows? Maybe it's more a question that should be asked of some of the other modern Star Trek series if they weren't all such pieces of shit that, well, unfortunately, they do qualify as relying on Memberberries, like Strange New Worlds needs you to remember that. Oh, hey, remember Star Trek? Remember when you used to like Star Trek? Please watch the show. It has things in it from the Star Trek you used to like. And yet they're just a little over-eager to do it. I think was a Discovery that kind of just happened to, oh, look, so-and-so, Captain Lorca has a Tribble on his desk. Ha, ha, ha. Doesn't matter if that actually really rather disrupts when Tribbles were introduced to the Federation and Starfleet, but who cares? You remember what those are. Ha, ha, ha. I don't know. I feel it's a bit of a complicated subject, and I'm not necessarily really expressing a point one way or the other as whether or not Star Trek Picard is overdoing it. As I said, it is kind of a reunion show. If you were going to be doing a cast reunion for Cheers, with all the characters getting back for one last little bar adventure 20, 30 years later, I mean, wouldn't you expect to see and hear things that remind you of the original show? So, I mean, no matter what the answer is, unfortunately, Picard's going to have an asterisk next to it because of the fact that this is a cast reunion kind of project. But as far as the rest of Star Trek goes, Were they to, like, say, magically give us a really nice season 2 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, would that be Memberberries, or would it just be the set dressing for Star Trek? I don't know. Something to think about, though. So until next time.
Y'all stay waspinated now, you hear?